In task one, you can get three types of letter, but you will in the real test we are going to attempt only one letter writing, but there could be either one of the types which could be your formal, semi-formal and informal. And this is just an example so that you know how does a letter topic looks like. This is a topic, and then they give you three subheadings or sub questions so that you can explain your letter easily. So
It's
I
very
did, yes. Okay. So what do we do in the letter writing? First of all, you are always given a word limit. It is always there. So the word limit says write at least 150 words. So when it is saying 150 words, it means that you have to minimum write 150, though you can extend it. But when I say extended, I suggest that we should write within 170, 180 words and do not touch 200 words for letter writing. Do not make your letter like you're writing to your friend full details. No. In fact, for formal and semi formal letter, they have to be to the point. So 170 to 180, and that's enough. The recommended time to spend on task one is 20 minutes. So what happens when you're given writing as a whole? The writing is actually for 60 minutes. Okay, so when the writing is for 60 minutes, it is advised by IELTS itself that you should spend 20 minutes on letter and 40 minutes on essay writing. And that's why the recommended time is 20 minutes. So time management has to be up to you, because when your writing starts, it starts for 1 hour, wherein you have to complete your letter, wherein you have to complete your essay, both the tasks. This task carries 34% of your total writing score. Yes, it carries 34% of your total writing score. So I will not say that this is not important, but yes, it is equally important, because by writing something which is short and crisp, you still get to the right desired score. All the words are counted. Even if you write any symbol, let's say you just do this, though it is not actually allowed in IELTS. Some students may write 24, that is also counted. Any kind of abbreviations, it is counted. So all the words are counted from the moment you start writing your letter. You do not need to write the address on the letter. There is no need to write. And you must include all 3 points. And what are these 3 points? We have to explain all these 3 points, and that too in the order. Okay, this is the writing band descriptors which for task one. It means you are rated on these four parameters in task one. The first one is task achievement. If you look at the 8 bands, covers all requirements of the task sufficiently. So the requirement of the task was to send a letter to your friend, and it had three subheadings given to you. So did you cover them all? Presents, highlights, and illustrates key features or bullet points clearly and appropriately. So, are you presenting those questions clearly and appropriately? Then, coherence and cohesion is sequences information and ideas logically. So, let's say you're given three questions. First is why are you writing the letter? The second will be explain the situation, and third would be what do you want the other person to do. So all these should follow the Logical sequence. It's not that first you have written what the person should do, then you are written why are you writing the letter, in the last you are explaining the situation. So that's not a logical sequence. So there has to be a logical sequence. What is your paragraph 1, what is your paragraph 2, and your paragraph 3. Uses paragraphing sufficiently and appropriately. Yes, this is a very good point. So it means that you are not giving excessive paragraphs. Your letter should not have 5 paragraphs, or your letter should not have 2 paragraphs. You know that how many paragraphs I need to give in the letter. And that's what this point means. Coming to lexical resource. Yes, lexical resource, some students finds it difficult. Uses a wide range of vocabulary fluently and flexibly to convey precise meanings. When we say wide range of vocabulary, it actually means that if you have to write a letter to your manager to ask for leave, okay, maybe a paid leave, paid off. So how many, which words you can use? Maybe you can say a paid off, you can ask them you are looking for some time off, and you can also say that you would need to go on a break for some time, and that's what all the wide range of vocabulary. Skillful uses uncommon lexical items. Yes, uncommon lexical items. Something, let's say you want to say that I am in a very difficult situation. So instead of just writing difficult situation, you can also write a word which is called predicament. Okay, that's called predicament, which is also, some odd situation. So that's called uncommon lexical items. But there may be occasional inaccuracies in word choice. So you are putting, you're putting the right words, or you're putting the good vocabs, which is not so common, but sometimes the words are not suitable to those sentences. Produces rare errors in spelling and word formation. So spelling is also part of your lexical resource. Then grammatical range and accuracy. Uses wide range of structures. So you need to have a combination of complex sentence, compound sentence, and simple sentence. You can also put maybe, do not write so many simple sentences, but yes, there should be a combination of complex, simple, and compound sentences. That's what is called range of structures. And you are making very rare errors. So this is all what counts to 8 bands. Now, coming to the types of letter that you will be getting. So we actually get 3 types of letter: formal, semi-formal, and informal. The most easy to identify is this one. Why it is easy to identify? Because if the letter says it, write to your friend, or it simply says any of your family member, so you know this is an informal letter. But how do we identify if it is a formal letter? In case of formal letter, first it is to someone whose surname you don't know, or you have not met the person. Okay, just a second. Okay, so in case of formal letter is needs to be written to someone you have not met. Example, write a letter to the store manager. So obviously when you're going for shopping, you are not meeting the store manager. hotel manager, airport manager, administration manager. So ideally, if the letter has a manager, apart from your office manager, it has to be a formal letter, and then whose name you don't know, because obviously when you're writing a letter to a stranger, you don't know their names. In that case, it has to be a formal letter, and it is going to start with dear sir or ma'am with a comma for sure, and going to end with yours faithfully. It will always end with yours faithfully and putting your full name in the end. Semi formal is a situation where you may or may not have met the person, but you know the last name of the person. It could be your accommodation officer, and it can be your principal, your lecturer, your tenant, your landlord. So maybe I have not met my landlord, but at least I know the surname of the landlord, and that's why it is written like this: Dear Mr. and the surname, and always end it with yours sincerely. Please do not do the mistake of moving it here and moving it here. If you do this, you are going to lose out your scores. Please go through these letters. Just go through them and then I'll explain you. Okay, now when you see shop manager here, it means this is a formal letter. English speaking friend, so it is informal letter. Accommodation officer, so you live in a room in college which you share with another student. So obviously it's the person is from your college, so it becomes your semi formal letter. Friend is again informal letter. Landlord is also semi-formal. So this is how we need to identify the letter types. Now moving on, this is the complete structure of your letter writing. So in your letter writing, what are we going to do is you need to have these parameters in your mind. So when you do your own letter writing, this is the best way to self assess yourself. First thing that you need to check, okay, my first thing is, have I included the greeting? Have I written dear sir in case of formal? Have I written dear Mr. Brown in case of semi formal? Or have I written dear John in case of informal? So this is the first thing that you need to write as you start with letter writing. No date, no address, nothing. Then second is your opening statement. Opening statement means directly that's your first paragraph. This is your first paragraph, and you are going to clearly tell why you are writing. And this is most of the time is the first point that you get. If you remember, I have shown you those 3 points when you are given the letter task. So the first point is expressed in paragraph 1, and then you can start writing like let's say if you are going to express your dissatisfaction. You went to a hotel with your family, and you had 2 days short trip there, but you were not happy with the services there. So I'm writing to express my dissatisfaction about my stay in your hotel from this to this date. So that's how you can start your sentence. Then I'm writing to complain about the services that were offered by your staff to me during my last visit. So, and then you continue. So these are few ideas how you can start your letter. Now the second paragraph, which is your third point, it should explain your point 2 that you are given. So first paragraph, point 1 will explain. Second paragraph, point 2 will be explained. Then these are again few ideas for you to, take some ideas to frame your sentences. Then point 3 will be explained in the third paragraph. So you look at here, this is my paragraph 1, this is my paragraph 2, and this is my paragraph 3. So paragraph 3 will have third point explained, and this is actually most of the time what you would like to happen. So explain the situation in the second paragraph, the whole scenario, but in the third paragraph you have to tell what you, maybe you want a complete refund, you want immediate service, you want immediate reply. So that's what you would like to happen. I request an immediate action, I request an immediate replacement, I request an immediate attention. Or you can also write, perhaps it would be advisable to uh, you know to hire some qualified people instead of immature staff. So maybe you can give some advice also. Then comes your closing statement. Closing statement, usually it's not in the same paragraph. Leave a gap and then write it down, and your closing statement will be, your response will be highly appreciated. I look forward to receiving your reply. Hope to hear from you soon. So these two are in case of formal, and this is in the case of informal. Then again leave us one line gap and then write yours faithfully or yours sincerely. This is in case of formal. This is in case of semi-formal, and this obviously in case of informal. So that's the entire structure. Let me just erase the markings. Hmm. Okay. So as you start writing with a formal or a semi-formal letter, we will start writing like dear sir, ma'am, or dear Mr. Jones, and start with the topic. You don't have to say, I'm sorry to tell you. You don't have to really feel sorry in any case if the topic is not like that. Okay. And but in case of informal letter, in the case of informal letter, obviously you need to do, kind of a informal touch like, I hope you're doing great. So I hope you and your family are all well. Maybe you can just write this one line and then start with, anyway, the reason I'm writing is that. And then you start with the main topic that has been given to you. So, a few things that you should know is don't use contractions. Yes, these kind of contractions you cannot write in formal or semi-formal letters, but you should always use them actually in the informal letter. And this is actually advice that use contractions in the informal letter. We have contractions have like can't, don't. You cannot use these in the semi formal or formal letter, but yes, you can always use them. You should, I would say, you should use them in informal letter. Think about how each sentence relates to the one before and after. When we think about that, how the things are related before and after, that's actually called logical sequences. You can use sequences like to begin with, finally, moreover, in addition to this. When you are giving some information which is actually more than one, something like you really appreciated, or why you want to work abroad, so you will have more than one reason. In that case, you can use the sequences. Use linking words similarly, however, as a result. Please ensure you demonstrate your vocabulary band. You just do not use the same common words on a regular basis. Okay, now we will start with the formal letter writing. And this is a topic, and this is how exactly you will get. The time is you should spend about 20 minutes on this task. And here's the topic. You have seen an advertisement in an Australian magazine for someone to live with a family for 6 months and look after their 6-year-old child. Write a letter to the parents. So, my advice first thing is read the topic at least 2 times. You have seen an advertisement. So, imagine that it's me and I saw an advertisement in an Australian magazine for someone to live with a family. Okay, so someone is looking for a person. There's a family and they're looking for a person to live with them for 6 months and look after their 6-year-old child. Write a letter to the parents in your letter. Now, these are my 3 points, which is my paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and paragraph 3. So, my first paragraph I will be including is why you would like the job. My second paragraph, why you would be suitable person to employ. And my third paragraph will be how you would spend your free time while you're in Australia. And write at least 150 words. So that's my topic. And obviously, I have to write the letter to the parents. But when I look at the topic, I have not met these people and I want to actually apply for this. So if I have not met them, so in that situation, it has to be a formal letter. So let's look at this. I will, if it is a formal letter, it will always start with Dear Sir. Then I'm and just straightforward start writing. Do not say, I hope you're fine, nothing like that. So I'm writing this letter in response to the advertisement published last week on the Journal magazine, where you have asked for a short term live in babysitter. So instead of, okay, babysitter for your 6-year-old child. So this is what we are replying to. I would like to apply for the same as I am in Australia for a short term course. And this course is actually distance learning. And by doing this job, I will be able to manage my expenses and time well. Because the question, the first topic was why you would like the job. So, why? Because I'm doing a distance learning program. I'm in Australia for a short term course. And if I do this job, I will be able to manage my expenses and my time. So, that's the reason I want to do this job. Second question was, why you would be a suitable person. So I have to now, tell a lot about myself, why I want to do this job. So ideally, what is the best way is that you have to really think a lot so that you are able to answer it correctly. So when I say think a lot, it means work on your imagination. So I'm quite comfortable and confident in handling small children as I had done my internship in a preparatory school. So I'm confident in handling, I'm comfortable. Besides, I love children since I consider them a bundle of joy, and that is why I want to work with you as well. Moreover, I told you that we should use sequences if I'm giving more than one reason. And if you look here, I am giving more than one reason. So besides, moreover, why I'm using, because I just do not want to say point, point, point. I want to link them. And that's the reason I'm using these sequences. Moreover, while working as an intern, I have developed patience to deal with children and even feeding, bathing, and playing with them. So, these are all the reasons explained why you would be a suitable person to employ, and that's my second paragraph. So, moving on to my third paragraph. How would you spend your free time while you're in Australia? Let's say I got a off on Sunday and now I'm free. So, what I'm going to do on Sunday or what I'm going to do on Saturday? During my free time, I wish to visit my university and explore some education resources. Apart from this, so again used one of the sequences. Apart from this, I will also explore this beautiful country and learn about the lifestyles and culture of its people. So this can also go over there. I look forward to receiving your reply. That's your ending line, okay? And then yours faithfully with your full name. Just a second. It should be S here. Yours faithfully. This is the whole letter. Please go through it. Remember that this is first, second, and third paragraph. So first, second, third. If you let's check it one way. Can you see there are six things here? Now I'll go back to the letter and we'll cross check it. Six pointers I'll check. So let's check one, two, three, four, 5, and 6. So 6 pointers are there with your full name in the last. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's what you should always remember to put into your letter. And this will not change in the case of semi-formal. It will not change in the case of informal. This will remain same. Okay, anyone has any doubts so far?
Hi, ma'am. Maximum word limit how much?
There is no maximum, the minimum is 150. So what I advise that we should try to close somewhere between 170 to 180. That's it. Because the more you're writing, you're spending more time, and the same time can be utilized in your essay writing.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, Vandana ma'am, I want to know one thing. Is it fine to repeat the word I?
Yeah, when I'm writing in my personal thing, then I have to repeat I.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am, we are writing both dear sir and madam and dear sir.
See, we don't know who is this, okay? In
Okay.
case of formal letter, so we have to write both.
Both. Okay. Okay.
So it is always that we have to write dear sir or madam, or you can write with a slash also. That's wrong.
Slash I avoid because when I write or, it counts with my word limit,
Okay.
or it is included in the word count.
But otherwise, if you put a slash, it is wrong actually, or
It is a bit informal.
a bit informal. Okay.
I'm putting one more letter for you to read. This is the topic is you took your family to a nearby restaurant. You were disappointed with the meal and wished to complain to the manager. So write a letter to the manager of the restaurant. So you have not met this person because you go to the restaurant, you have your meal and you come. So these are again my 3 pointers. Again, one, two, three. Please read through this.
Ma'am, in the first sentence, we need to paraphrase the question, right?
Just a Yeah, in the not the first sentence, I would say the first paragraph. There's a lot of background noise coming in. Okay, so in the first paragraph, ideally you have to include this point, but you cannot just start like so. That's why we are using this as well.
Okay. So in the first paragraph, we have to answer for the first question, right?
Yes. Yes. Okay, now moving on. This is a formal letter, but there is not really a lot of difference between formal and informal. It is majorly that we have to identify the type of the letter.